welcome back to the next episode of Waifu Wars. I am definitely not gonna feel bad for you when you decide to eat raw kraken. Doobie-doo. Oh, sorry, not even raw. Was it raw kraken? It was raw raw parasite. Raw parasite. I'm not feeling bad for you, Doobie-doo.
And I'm just here to chase the mermaids, sober me.
Welcome back to the next episode of Waifu Wars podcast, where we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb, but not your waifu, because she is trash. What's going on, Oni?
Nothing much. What's going on, Drew?
I'm alright. Yeah, very okay weekend.
I'm enjoying a long weekend.
Right. That's
Happy President's Day, everyone.
Yeah, happy President's Day. Whatever. Give me a day off.
Happy free holiday.
Happy free holiday, bitch. Period. Right. So yeah. Oh crap. So damn. Guess I don't really have to do. Well, I didn't have to do much shit tomorrow anyway. So work. Yeah. So I guess. Damn, usually I would have something to say. I don't really have anything to say. I feel like I got my grievances out before the podcast started because I was going to go on a tangent about something totally related. And I was like, let me just get out my feelings now before you hit record.
I'm glad we got it out before the recording.
Exactly. So now I just feel, I feel at peace.
Good.
So, with that being said, I guess we're just going to hop into the episode. Oh, right. Super Bowl was really fun. I spent the Super Bowl at Oni's place with his family. High as fuck, by the way. I wasn't that high. I was high, but I wasn't
I couldn't notice it, though.
Right, exactly. Like, cause it just looked like I was just chilling, right? Yeah, exactly. That's such what it boiled down to.
You were not discovered.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, it was a really, really fun time. I feel like I want to come back for next year.
Yay, we'll do it.
That would be fun, unless the Eagles or the Giants turn, then never mind.
It definitely won't be the Giants.
Oh,
damn!
Oh,
I went there.
Ooh. Yeah, you sure did. Sports ball people, get them.
Yes.
All right, let's get this podcast started. I'm gonna start always with our new segment this week in anime. Oh no, you can go first.
Okay, some really light, just kind of nice news. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink sells over 1 million copies, and that was just released by Cygames of 1 million copies worldwide since its release on February 1st. That includes both digital and physical sales, which is a massive success. I know people don't usually think of it as a massive success because games usually sell like a bajillion copies or whatever, but for this being Cygames' first like big title, and considering this game was in development for like 8 years. You know, this game was in development for 8 years. Crazy.
That's crazy. Wait, are you saying Cygames? Are you saying Shadowverse wasn't a big game?
Yeah. Their other big hit, Shadowverse. So, considering this is their big console hit, it obviously did a lot better than expected.
Shadowverse also was on console. Thank you very much.
All right.
I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck about the Shadowverse console.
Well,
games.
Funny enough, they do have a Shadowverse coming out. A new Shadowverse, like isn't it Shadowverse 2 or something?
Yeah, I told you about it.
Oh,
yes.
you're the one who told me.
Yes, I'm the one who told you. Yes.
So yes, that'll be fun. But this is even as far as like just yesterday I looked, and it still has like 100,000 concurrent players playing, and that's like top 5 on Steam. So that's pretty impressive. Huge splash. Hopefully this means we get new characters and content. And if you haven't played Relink, I suggest you do. It's actually pretty fun. Really good action RPG.
Okay, so yep, all those who are interested in giving Cygames more money, you know what to do.
Yes.
Alright, and on my side, according to Anime News Network, Todaima o Kairi BL Anime's video reveals more cast staff opening song as well as spring debut. So basically this anime called Todaima o Kairi will be released during the spring. I don't know how this passed my radar when looking for news. Maybe I've just found something so quickly that week, and I just didn't see this coming because I'm not gonna lie, the premise of the show kind of makes me tear up.
Sad.
No, not sad at all. Yeah, not sad at all, actually. The manga's story tells the daily life of Masaki Fujiyoshi, a stay-at-home husband who has no self-confidence, his elite salaryman husband Hiromu, and their 2-year-old son Hikari. Together, they overcome life's joy and sadness and become more of a family every day. Like,
that sounds
the reason... What?
That sounds boring.
No, it absolutely... I looked at reviews of it, and yeah, it's just gonna be you just choking on fluff.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like the type of show you get mad when I watch. Like, oh, that boring ass show that's just cute girls.
Absolutely, I wouldn't. I'm not even. I'm not even fighting for this for the podcast at all. But just the concept that not like we're kind of. I wouldn't say we're ditching the BL thing altogether, but ditching the original setup, ditching something that's more traditional, like Cherry Magic, for example, and doing something where it's like, not only are we a couple, we're married, and we're raising our child. I would say this is like, whoa, this is so revolutionary and not even heard of, but the manga came out in like 2015, so it's been out for a minute. And yeah, that's so crazy. I will say it's so revolutionary, relatively speaking, because this is the first time I heard a manga like this. We're just like, we're already in a relationship. We're just gonna talk about being married and shit. And yes, I know it's probably gonna be fluff and it's probably not gonna be exciting. Well, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, this kind of representation is also very healthy and cool. It made me tear up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I first read it, like, that's very, like, I saw the preview. The preview is so, like, that also made me tear up too. Just, like, it just makes my heart very warm.
Well, maybe you can watch it and finally learn the good side of fun.
The good side of life. We shall see. Don't hold your breath, though. All right, now that we're done with our news, it's time for our weekly reviews. Yep. All right, we're gonna start off with Solo Leveling episodes. What was episode? So 3 and 4?
No.
No, right. I'm like, I saw episode 4, and I'm just like, that's not right. It was 4 and 5?
No.
5 and 6? I gotta be right at some point.
6 and 7.
Damn, you could just let me go on for one. Are you sure it's not 5 and
6? I'm 100% sure. We're not that early. Everything else in the season.
No, you're right. It's 5. You're right. It's 6 and 7. You're right.
Listen, I know every episode feels the same, Drew.
This is why I don't like taking notes on my phone. Because I don't know what's what when I do.
And yes, we are doing double features this week because we missed the last.
Let's see. So, last week's episode started with basically them fighting the giant crystal bug thing. Was it a spider? A spider. Some type of arachnid.
It was a spider. Yeah, it was a spider.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And the relatively fast fight didn't take too long. It was silly watching him trying to hit the hard ass spider. When I was saying to myself, I'm like, why don't you just like stab him in the eyes? And then like 5 seconds later, he's like, I'll stab him in the eyes. And I was like, there you go. But yeah, very flashy as always.
It was fun. I do like seeing him. I do like that the fights are very big scale, and we'll get on when we talk about episode 7. But every time he fights a creature, it's like a really intimidating large creature. So you get to see him like jump around and do acrobatics. Like it's a very fun scenario.
Yeah, I mean you can talk about episode 7 if you want.
Okay, so seeing him fight Cerberus, for example, was pretty fun. Like I like the concept because it lets him like we get our fair share of like violence and gore. Like he gets fucked up in these fights a lot. Like he just gets ragdolled and like, chomped and fucking paralyzed.
Yeah, Cerberus literally was like chomping into him.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very physical, and it feels like I'm watching Shadow of the Colossus, the anime or something, because it's like this little skinny Asian dude versus Cerberus.
Literally.
Yeah. So I like, other than that one fight we had in the very beginning where it was like him versus the fucking goblins or whatever, every fight feels like this big spectacle against this giant fucking David and Goliath monster. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. The one thing that does make me roll my eyes is like his eventual, like his personality shift. Like he's becoming more of an edgelord and just like, no, I'm super edgy now because they're trying to kill me. I mean, I kind of get it, but oh no, it was this is the shonen part where he realizes that life sucks. My name is Naofumi. I mean, Jinwoo. Like, I mean Sasuke. I mean, etc., etc. So yeah, it felt very tropey. When he was killing people in episode 6, that was so cool. All the background music, it was so badass.
Yeah, it was the music when he was fighting the random thugs that try to ambush him from the party was fucking peak. I loved it. That insert song.
Yeah, it was really.
I did
really
go back
cool.
and listen to it again, and I have it downloaded on my phone now.
Nice.
It's pretty slap.
Yeah, that first clue specifically was super cool because like it like the dude died before we even knew what happened. It was very quick. But yeah. Let's see what else. Speaking of his character development, I love how he's getting to the point, and this is the part where I'm just like, oh no, I think they're leaning into it a little too hard. In the sense that he already said in this episode, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, it was like I was mad at them for thinking that they could even challenge me. I was like, excuse you? Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Which is why I like the Cerberus fight, because it kind of brought him back to reality. I'm like, no, you are not that girl, actually.
Yeah, I do also Alright, so I saw the craziest comment on Twitter. Thanks for reminding me. Somebody was like, oh, solo leveling, isn't that just like Sword Art Online but worse? And I was about to lose it. Because this does
worse.
Yeah, like a worse Sword Art Online. And I'm like, and I don't usually like, listen, this show's not the best in terms of like, oh, this is like a top 10 anime of all time or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just a good
action
show.
Fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. But it does do the one thing that Sword Art Online never did, which is it has a good sense of like power scaling. Because yes, we see Hiro, I was calling Hiro, what's his fucking name?
Jinwoo
getting stronger, but like he still struggles he's not, what's his face? Kirito. And he just doesn't just walk into a fight, get a bullshit power up, and is like, I win because I'm Kirito and I know all these skills. Like, we actually see him acquire these skills. We see the grind. We see him fight progressively worse and worse monsters and struggle with these challenges. So even though we see him getting powerful and he does eventually become super OP compared to everybody else, it doesn't feel like it's unearned like it does with Sword Art Online, where it just feels like Kirito's the chosen one. It was just gifted these powers to be godlike with.
Yeah, and it's like all the strengthening that he has to go through. It's, you know, he's kind of forced to do it.
Yeah, like it puts it in perspective that he's like, oh, he doesn't have a choice to do this shit.
Like, if he doesn't, he gets sent to a hell dimension, like, hunted by this giant, crazy sandworm monster.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, the little interactions with his sister were really cute and humanizing. They do a good job of humanizing him a bit with the drinking and he can't get drunk and all that shit.
Oh my god, he has to be sober forever.
The worst part of his power.
That is easily the worst. They're like, oh, and then can't knows any abnormal stats, like, you know, at this point, I feel like at that point I would just like start injecting myself with random poisons just to see how bad it would be. Like, getting people with COVID to just cough on me. I'm like, please, I just want to feel something. So yeah. And I will disagree when you said he killed a bunch of random thugs, because one of those random thugs happened to be a brother of a very scary man who's going to Korea. I'm assuming he's from China.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about committing murder in another country, and his name was Huang. So I thought there were Huangs in Korea too, but I'm not 100% sure about you know, last names in Korean.
Yeah.
So he's coming over there to, and I love. I don't know. Actually, I did that. When I said love, I was being sarcastic. But yeah, I love how his first, like, he's like, oh, the investigation has been done. My brother was murdered. Time to kill these dudes. And I'm like, what investigation did you really do to get to that conclusion?
Yeah.
Like that felt kind of lazy, but you know, it is a shonen, so I shouldn't expect much. I would have liked.
Don't expect the writing to be that crazy.
Right, exactly. I mean, crazy or in this case makes sense.
Yeah, I will say also, side note, I say I like, but it's funny that every villain is just like super Bara dude. Like, the more Bara dude you are, your power level is indicated by how fucking jacked Bara you are.
Yep, I'm just like, damn, all these Bara dudes getting killed by this twink. God damn it.
The older and more jacked you are, the stronger you are.
I'm not complaining. Do. So yeah, I can't wait to see him kill another Big Bada Daddy. I didn't care too much for the dude that he killed, but this Huang dude.
He was very young and not as jacked, so he was very low power level.
Oh, who the one who died?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's actually older.
But he's not as old as you could be. He's not like 70.
I mean, I guess. Either way, I'm gonna feel sad when his younger brother gets killed by this dude as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, up next we have Dungeon Meshi episodes 6 and 7.
What was 6? 6 was the...
6 was... this was... 6 was interesting. Yes.
I love the painting.
That was crazy.
I simultaneously love it and wish they did more with it.
Right, because it was just... Like, how dare you? Like,
you cut it off at the best part. I thought the dude was going to come out of the painting and, like, chase them or some shit.
That was insane. I love how it just started with them. They're like, let's just go into the picture worlds to eat their food and come back out.
Mm-hmm.
which didn't work because apparently the food doesn't come with you.
I said that from the start. I was like, it wouldn't make sense if the food came with them because then they would have like an infinite food supply whenever they wanted.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, when you leave the place, does this like like your mid-digestive food just plops down somewhere? What?
I assume like whatever you had in your stomach just vanishes.
Oh,
like it just disappears.
Okay.
It was never there.
Or your digested food just plops down. It's just gross, partially digested food and bile. They're like, what the fuck? Why they want to keep leaving throw up? He will come to the pictures. I just keep leaving throw up and when they leave. But yeah, the thing that of course freaked everybody out is the fact that the paintings have their own history, which almost makes you think, are the paintings not just paintings but like a mirror into the past of this whole dungeon, this used to be a dungeon?
Yeah, it raises a lot of questions, which I wish they did more with it. Like, are these mirrors?
Yeah, they cut this on purpose. They said we're gonna give you this little taste, and that's it.
Like, they literally opened Pandora's box. They did like time travel theories could come from this. Like the whole series could be a painting itself or something. I did like that it was like one continuous story, and he just kept coming in different parts. And to the characters that were there, were like, who is this random ass knight just here? He was here at the prince's birth. He was here when the king was killed.
No one recognized him. It was only the elf? Question mark? Was that?
He looked like a demon.
Like a dark elf.
But I assume that he was the culprit or something, because I don't know.
Oh.
Did he poison the king?
Wow, just because he's black? During Black History Month? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't trust them dark elves. No.
Oh,
I like my elves like Marciel. Blonde, blue eye, green eye, whatever.
Oh my god. I can't wait to make that into a clip. Crazy motherfucker. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think of that he could have been the culprit. But I thought he suspected Laos of being the culprit.
I thought that at first, but then I was like, maybe he doesn't suspect him as a culprit, but he suspects him as like, why is this guy always here at these like really inopportune times when I'm doing stuff? Like, he's the witness to my crimes.
Interesting. That is very interesting.
I wish they kind of did more with it.
They're gonna come back to it. They cucked us on purpose.
Yeah. They go to another floor and the pictures just continue.
And then I also liked that the second half it was very much a chill Chuck episode, part of the episode.
He needed the most character development, so I'm glad he got some.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for him because he went through it. Oh my god.
Him and Frieren need to...
Frieren! Give on a... Yes, I was about to say the same shit.
We need a Dungeon Meshi Frieren crossover.
It's just a mimic. And then he's like, mimic. And she's like, no, but it's probably not a mimic. And then she gets eaten and then he gets triggered.
I love the little twist that the box he thought was a mimic the whole time wasn't a mimic. And it was like...
and then a mimic, the other thing. The other thing was a mimic. Oh, that was crazy. Oh, I forget. Something happened, and I just wrote Laos is such a freak, and I don't remember what that means, which makes me sad. Even though it's true, like, Laos is a freak. What?
Was it about this episode or next episode?
It was about episode 6. I mean, no, I feel like we can take that phrase, and it'll be true from episode 2 to current.
Yeah.
He is
because he was like talking about how you could figure out a mimic sex.
Yes! Yes! How do you remember that?
Because I just watched the episode.
Oh.
I told you I binged all the episodes.
Oh my god, that was wild. I was like, oh, you nasty. Like, you are weird.
If you flip the mimic over, bro, it's a box and it's a crab. What are you talking about?
Right, like, that is so crazy. Why do you need to figure out their gender? Why do you know that? Like, he's definition of, like, he's the definition of, like, I'm hot, but I'm crazy.
Yeah, they keep him away from all the monsters in the dungeon.
Period. Because he either wants to fuck them or eat them.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of them he wants to eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, the action sequence of Cho-Chuk escaping, though, was really cool. That I remember.
Oh, yeah, they went hard for the animation.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. They were like, listen, we're not going to have many fights in this series, so when we do have, like, escape sequences, we need to go hard.
Which I appreciate.
Trigger needs to trigger.
Yep. And then... when we found out that episode, Cho-Chuk is actually 29.
Mm-hmm.
Which is apparently older than Laos.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Mr. Cho-Chuk.
Which is funny. I'm like, aww, you're so
I don't know how
cute.
old Marcial is now because she's an elf.
Right, because she was like, you baby.
Kid.
That was funny. Episode 7. Another wild episode.
I think I'm going to actually retroactively make these 2 episodes by half an episode. Because these 2 episodes are really fun.
Shit. Do I also want to split it? Because episode 7, it was good. I won't make it my episode of the week, but I get it because it did something I really wanted, or made me feel good, which was like kind of have like a Senshi Martial moment.
Interactions, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like they've been static since there's been static since episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like Senshi always had a problem with her using magic, and obviously she had a problem with him, like eating everything or cooking every monster. I feel like it came to a head this episode, so it was like a proper build up.
Yeah.
To a point where I think Laos was so against using magic, he didn't even want the magic that allowed him to float.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, that scene where he's like, "Yeah, I'll get onto the horse. It'll be fine." And what was it called? The Selkie?
The Kelpie.
Or
listen, I played
the
enough
Kelpie.
Persona to not trust
Right? No, I know. I listen. It also Kelpie. Also in whatchamacallit, the Magus's Bride.
Mm-hmm.
Also was in season 2, and yeah, they were each series was like, yeah, don't trust that horse. Low-key wants to kill you.
The water horse is not a good horse.
Yeah, it's not, and yeah, definitely. He was like, oh no, it'll be fine. At first, Laos was like, Laos usually is on Senshi's side in most things, but Laos was very like anti this horse, but for good reason. And then yeah, tries to kill Senshi. Laos and Senshi kill Anne. That's what he called the Kelpie. And yeah, kill that bitch, and then start making horse meat out of her.
Yeah, rip Kelpie.
And yeah, Marcel was like, "Hey, let me take some of that fat and wash your beard with it because you don't have Kelpie to use anymore."
Yeah. I will say, though, my favorite part of the episode, and probably one of my biggest laughs in the series.
Yes. Yep.
The mermaid.
Yep. He starts just singing. The mermaids were so over it.
So mad. Like they were trying to sing over him, and they're like, bye.
Right, and they just laughs because they're like, well, we can't get any dinner now. That was funny.
Seeing him
That
belt
was
so hard, like he was in an opera. Like, oh.
that was great, honestly. So yeah, that was great. The whole merman thing. Will Laos was like, we can eat it, and he's like, no. Jojo was like, no. Uh, Fun fact: I'm pretty sure I would have eaten it. The merman. Oh yeah. I'm like I'm used to eating. So I'm used to eating fish, like whole fish, like that. So if you show me something like that, I'm like close enough. I'm like, listen. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure
I wouldn't
if I
have
were
eaten
eating
it, but for other reasons. Not because I think it's too close to a human, but just because it doesn't look cute. I would rather eat a horse.
It's a fish. It's a fish. Like they look like just straight up like fish.
It looks like an ugly fish, though.
Just because.
Maybe it was the hair.
There's no such thing as a pretty fish.
Speak for yourself. Have you seen koi fish?
Oh, I mean, I get it. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. But yeah, was I saying something about? Oh yeah, the koi fish. It's yeah. I guess. But that how good it looks doesn't make it. It does not define the taste at all. Are you saying octopus looks pretty?
Maybe because I'm used to eating it. It looks prettier to me.
Yeah,
just
very convenient.
Just don't show me the fish now and then just say it's fish, not eat it. Right? Treat me like Marcia. Don't show me anything.
Question: do you care about the Would you care about the ecosystem the way Senshi would have?
Not really. I mean, in the sense that like we shouldn't
like the whole like don't blow up the fish because the ecosystem of monsters, etc., etc.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, if it's that important, because otherwise you might have like monsters running to different floors.
Yep, looking for that food. Cause the moment she blew it up, the merman came immediately, spotted them. The Kraken spotted the merman, and then led into that whole fight.
Which, by the way, never eat parasites. That was a dumb choice on their part.
That was so dumb for that. I just felt no sympathy for him. I was like, you're literally an idiot eating an uncooked. Don't eat raw fish. Don't eat. Well, there's a way to prep it. There's a way to prep it properly. And if you don't know how to do it, baby, don't eat that raw fish. Yeah. Do not do it. Oh, I saw like the part where Marcial was talking about how much she loves octopus and squid and all that stuff. And then he was like, oh, we can just eat this. And she's like, no, I dug my own grave. That was funny. Even though I don't understand why she's mad, it is quite literally just the same squid and octopus you eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun episode. I enjoyed it greatly.
Me too.
Alright, up next we have Cherry Magic episodes 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6.
Which kind of it's fitting that we do a double episode for this because they kind of feel like they were.
Yeah, if there was ever a time to do like a Wombo Combo episode, it would be now. Oh, it's in my notes. I'm looking for it and I'm like, I can't find it. I love Adachi's confusion with his coworker Fujisaki. He's like, oh, she must like me. Maybe I have a chance, and she's like, no, I'm a dirty Fujoshi, and I love that you two are together in my mind. But yeah, not so much in her mind, because at the end of episode 5, they who confesses to, Kurosawa confesses his feelings to Adachi. Now, at one point, I was annoyed that Adachi just didn't say anything, just ended looking stupid. But I'm like, I get it, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're struggling. you're clearly struggling with your sexuality and potential feelings of another person that you may be considering, and you don't know how you feel about being with a man. And also your powers. So, I get it. Right, it's a lot going on for Adachi. I'm glad. And I didn't expect episode 6, he'd be like, yep, I'm into this. I wasn't expecting him to turn over so quickly. I really thought it was going to be like, alright, this is the rest of the season. Where he has to go back and forth. Which would have made me so sad. But it didn't happen, so yay! And they had their little scene. Where, they were hugging each other. I will say, I think it was... I don't know, I liked that they decided to not share Kurosawa's thoughts in that moment when they were hugging each other. Well, that initial embrace, at least.
Mm.
Like, he was just like, oh, I'm here. Like, he's narrating that he's hearing Kurosawa's thoughts. Like, the end flows of emotion, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
So I like to leave that up to your imagination. That was kind of... I like their decision to just leave it at that. But then later on when he's like, oh crap, we're in public. Then it kind of slides back to being more comical. I like the inner dialogue of Kurosawa. where you saw impulse fighting his like rational side. And then what did the impulse dude say? He's like, oh, can you really let go? You don't want to hold him anymore, touch him anymore, smell him anymore. And he's like, you're right, I can't resist it.
Yeah, I do. That's pretty funny. The tone comedic, and then just like a hard shift into romance territory as much. But they still kept it romantic, but didn't like totally be like, all right, this is a romance now.
Exactly. Even like that moment where he like pushed him off of him because their coworker was coming around the corner.
Mm-hmm. And they're also setting up interesting dynamics with other coworkers. Like, this is a bit into episode 6, but the other dude that's in the office with them, I forget.
Oh my god, Rokaku. Yes, I was gonna go back to that. God, he's such an idiot. I love it.
Are they trying to get me to work harder by being like good cop, bad cop, or whatever?
Yeah. I'm just like, oh my god, no. I'm so happy you're so stupid.
And then, of course, the Fujoshi just being like, yes.
Yes, be gay. I did think it was cool when, okay, well, I should preface this by saying I still don't really care for the whole Tsuge Minato couple. I feel like they're gonna focus more on them now. Mm-hmm. Now that the main characters have the main couple already has been established. Mm-hmm. So they're probably gonna shift more onto Tsuge and his story with this Minato dude. Which, sure, whatever. I just like the fact that Minato has like a tie to Rukaku. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's actually really cool. Like that loose connection in the plot. But yeah, I guess. Usually I like both. Usually in BL shows they do have like a couple, one couple, two. And I usually like both couples equally. Mm. Sometimes I even like the B-side couple more than the main couple. This is like the first time in a while I just have not been interested in the second couple at all.
I think part of it is because they came in so late and so suddenly and didn't have like any build up or anything.
At all. It's just like, oh, this guy who delivered my mail and he likes my cat.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. The end.
It's not really that well developed.
At all. But hey, well, I'll take what I can get.
Small complaint.
Mm-hmm. Alright, up next we have Mahou Shoujo ni Akagarete, episodes 6 and 7.
This is a tale of 2 episodes. The fan service and the plot.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, not gonna lie though, that was what Haruka was so weird.
It was. It was really weird.
It was.
No disrespect to anyone who's into
Yeah, it was into that. It was just, it was weird because I just didn't expect the hard left that they took.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, because in my mind, first of all, the whole baby fetish thing, that's already like a very random fetish, very hard left by itself, but then to see it between two, I can't even say women, 2 girls, because one is homegirl's like literally like 8 and the other one is in middle school, so it just felt so, yeah, the dynamics of it
being babies to begin with.
Exactly, so the dynamics felt so weird, and that's the only thing that made it weird. Well, outside from the baby thing, that's what made it, like, that's what really made it super weird. I would say.
I would say the thing that makes it weird for me is diapers. I'm not a big diapers guy. I feel like I don't like the look of diapers. That's like an instant turn off.
Yeah, it's not something that gets me in the mood for sure. Not quite. Once again, no kink shaming.
Yeah, no kink shaming.
If you into that, love that for you. It was just, it just came out of nowhere.
If we ever get a legwear episode, you guys can kink shame me, right? Going crazy.
Let's see. There was one part when Kaoruko was like, talking about Haruka and like complaining. I mean, like, gosh, she's always like our mom. So I guess that's what they're trying to do, like do a subversion of like her role in the group, like
mom of the group,
trying to take care of everybody. So now she's like, yes, now I'm a baby. I guess they were trying to, and this is what I do like about the show. Instead of just simply throwing the whole BDSM aspect in our face and being like, choke on it, baby, they also kind of give you enough to be like, here's the reason why, maybe.
Like, here's some psychological, like, character.
Yes. Yes, here's why she might be into the whole baby fetish. Because that's what a lot of people in BDSM, like, people who want to get taken care of, people who want to be submissive, who want to be dommed, they're usually, a lot of people, or at least like the profile of those people usually are in their day-to-day lives outside of the BDSM area. The CEOs, they're people who manage other people, who aren't in charge.
That makes sense. They want to like,
and they want to release from that control, and they want someone to just kind of just tell them what to do. So that's kind of like the psychology behind that.
Like I said,
I'm not saying that's everyone. That's just like the general.
It was strangely wholesome. Getting past the fetishy bits, it is kind of wholesome that it's like Haruka was like, I'm always the one in charge and I'd like to be babied for once. And then you have like Kurisu here is like, I'll baby you. Because for as lewd as it was, she didn't do it. Kurisu didn't do it in a lewd,
yeah, I'm sorry, I can't say it's wholesome. I won't go that far saying it's wholesome because
it wasn't done sexually on purpose. It was done to be wholesome from the perspective of 32.
That is, wow, Dr. Fantastic, because that is quite the stretch. I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, whoa, like not her just showing her just peeing herself like crazy. And you're being like, yes, wholesome. This is a wholesome moment. So yeah, that was mostly episode 6. Yeah. Episode 7.
Okay, so this I will also make my other half of the week. I like this episode a lot.
Yeah, so remember, I'm pretty sure I almost feel like I said it was gonna be Sile was gonna be the one to flip.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm pretty sure I called it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I called it.
Yes.
And looky here. Like I said.
Technically, she didn't flip because Bassier was like, no, you're not joining the dark side. She wanted to flip.
She wanted to. But same difference.
God, I feel so bad for Azul. She's so fucked.
I feel... Wait, is that her magical girl name?
Yeah, I forget what her... Is it Sayo?
Sayo.
Okay, yeah. Sayo.
Yeah. And I love how it was so bad at the beginning that everyone's noticing it now. They're just like, whoa, why is she just...
giving up.
Defend... Right, so easily. I wrote my notes. I said, "Girl, just masturbate."
She tried this episode.
No, she didn't. She started to instinctually, but she's like, "No, I can't do that." And I'm like, I'm like, girl, I'm telling you, if you would just masturbate, you'd be like,
"Oh my god,
I got that in my
realized
system."
Something. What if her and Utena meet outside of their magical girl forms, one of their excursions, and she finds out Utena has BDSM magazines and gets off on that, and they trade porn unknowingly that they're they develop a relationship outside of the magical girl.
That would be everything to me.
Because that's kind of what Sayo needs right now.
That is kind of what she needs. Right. And so she can keep that different from separate that from her magical girl life. I will say, and this is definitely the reason why I don't think I can make this my episode of the week. And I saw this in general here and there. And I'm not saying I don't know I won't speak on as to why this is, but there are times where the animation definitely takes a noticeable dip in quality. Just little things in scenes. And I've noticed that here and there. I just think in this episode was very pronounced. And I can't tell if this is just me super critic brain on, but it was definitely on Sayo when she was walking through the Magical Girl exhibition. She talks. I think it's her talking to Utena. That's when I first noticed it. When she talks to Utena, and then after she saves Utena from the girl the other random girl skipping her, and she's she faces away, and that's fine. But then she turns to her and says, "Okay, I'm gonna." And then as she walks away and she's talking, where her mouth is positioned, it's a little off. It's positioned to the left just a little too much. And I'm like, girl, why is your mouth all the way over there? Why are you talking?
I gave him a pass for that for 2 reasons. One, because this is Asahi production. It's not like it's Mappa or Trigger or
I know. I wrote down either the animation is cheap or lazy.
But also,
it's one of the two.
Because they tend to save that budget for the actual important scenes. Like the whole ending scene with Sayo breaking down was really well put together.
Agreed. Yes, no, they had to. I'm just saying that's why I can make my episode of the week though. I can't give an episode of the week to something that has noticeably bad animation like that.
I think
because it was that, and then animation of her just walking throughout the whatchamacallit, just seeing all the exhibits, and you just you literally nothing on her face moved except for her mouth. It felt unnatural to me. Like usually, like when you're or I would say in a much better animated scene, it would show her face turning side to side, her eyes wandering between the exhibits. That did not happen. Her whole face except her mouth still. Which I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy to me.
Well, I'm giving it episode week that. But as to your point, the budget, all of it went to the whole fight between Sayo and Utena. Yeah,
that was so good. Okay, so good is a stretch. That was good. Well, it was good in not even so much the faces that Sayo made, although those are good too. Mm-hmm. The shots of Utena were all
had like a bunch of really good faces. Those episodes.
Yeah. Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah. Oh man. First off, the face she made when she was like whipping Sayo on the triangle horse thing, and she was just like, crazy face. And then her face when she's like disappointed with Sayo, and she like picks her up off the ground and is like giving her that nasty eye.
Yep. Very, really good faces for her. Mm-hmm. This episode, I really, really enjoyed that. But yeah. And I felt so bad for Sayo. Because, like, Sayo, I get it.
Yeah.
Because Sayo really turned up this episode. Like, she did her best.
She tried.
And at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. So, I almost understand where she's coming from. She's like, fuck it. Like, you beat me. You're better than me. Like, just...
just take my soul, whatever.
Yeah, but then when she started saying... I forgot her bad guy name.
Who, Utena's?
Yeah.
Bessier?
Yeah, it was like, Bessia-sama. When she started saying her Bessia-sama, I was like, oh. So we're not even, like, dipping our toes in it. She just diving in. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. And I do like from a psychological, like, narrative standpoint, they really contrasted Utena and Sayo throughout the whole episode, where it was just like, oh yes, this is why Utena loves magical girls. And, like, throughout the whole episode, you see her getting more and more, like, I love magical girls. Even from when she was a kid to now, she still has like that same love and energy for magical girls. Whereas Sayo is just like progressively like getting less and less interested in being a magical girl. She's like, what is a magical girl?
Right, like that whole scene with the movie where she was just like, she was so disillusioned because she was telling herself like, no, imagine being a magical girl is not like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, not all sunshine and roses, and that's why I love Utena as a villain so much, because she's simultaneously a good villain while also fulfilling her like role of wanting to make the hero better, because that's what she ultimately wants to do anyway, like make the magical girls stronger and more cute.
But also like,
also dominate.
Right, also dominate them. Yeah, right. You're missing that.
It's a complex.
Very very important caveat.
Also, we got introduced to the remainder of the evil magical girls, so that's going to be being set up for next week.
Agreed. Okay. Up next, we have Ishura, episodes 6 and 7.
Oh, this was another candidate that could have been my episode of the week.
Yeah. Yep. Specifically for episode 6, I would say.
Episode 7 had a couple of scenes in it, too.
It was good. It was mostly just like, oh my god, this is how the war starts, kind of.
I mean...
It was very open and shy. Like, it was cool. It was cool to watch. I liked the fight between Shoujo.
Episode 6 was the intrigue, and episode 7 was the action.
Yeah, that part. Um. Yeah. I mean, it was just boiled down to like that one fight, and then the giant laser at the end.
Yeah, but the one fight had fucking guys' eyeballs melting out of its skull. So
Eyeballs melting out of skull.
you didn't see.
Oh, do you mean? Oh, you mean the Higuare?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stabs him.
Right. I was like, that's not more a fight. They just killed them all.
Yes, slaughter. Excuse me. Slaughter in episode 7.
Mind you, if Homegirl was not a main character, that knife would have gone through her too and just killed her.
Hey, well, she needed he needed somebody to drive the horse. So
And that is fair. I'm like, he literally cannot drive a horse.
I was wondering why he was underneath it. And he was like, I'm like, that's not how you ride a horse.
Right? I was like, oh my god, are you about to fuck the horse? Like, what's happening? Oh my god, is this about to be the hentai version of Mr. Hand?
But yes, episode 6 was Game of Thrones-esque.
Yeah, I really liked that like a lot.
And I was half right about my guess with the blind girl.
Oh, you mean her being a spy?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of gagged because Lana. It has me wondering what if that's true or not. Like, I don't know. I can't tell. Which is I like that. I can't tell which side Shulk and Higare are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, oh, for y'all being all on the same side. Like, they walked up. I thought they were gonna be like, yo, what's up? What's good? When are we killing them?
Yeah.
That did not happen.
No.
So it's like, oh, I don't know who's on whose side. And Lana is no longer a player essentially. After she found it to be exposed, getting intel from what's her name, Kurte, and yeah, apparently Kurte doesn't know that Regna J is a wyvern, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's like
she just thinks he's like an angel or a person or something.
An angel. I'm like, okay, could you do angels talk the way he does? Question mark. Like what?
I have a feeling she knows that we're gonna get like this touching scene where
where he's like,
I knew you were a wyvern the whole time.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope she's not that stupid. I mean, she's stupid enough to give intel to Lana, I guess.
Like, I know the secret. This whole time you were a crocodile. I know.
He's like, wait, what?
No, you're a crocodile. Stop lying.
No, I want him to die before he even gets to correct her. He just dies, and she's like, "No, my crocodile friend, my crocodile friend with wings." Oh yeah, I was gagged because I realized at some point I'm just like, it was cool when I realized as they were talking, I'm like, oh, when she said Elliot needs to remove all traces of people who know them, she means she's also gonna kill Lana.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's crazy, but then Lana got kidnapped, and then now Elia and what's her name? Leah?
Kia.
Kia, yeah, because Kia.
I just think of the car. Like, yeah.
That's a good way to remember. So yeah, they chasing after her. Don't know how that ended up. And I think with episode 7, I'm realizing, oh, there's not gonna be a tournament. It's just war.
Yeah, the tournament is the war.
The tournament is the war.
Unless it ends like the season ends and it's like a Mortal Kombat thing, like we shall settle this through Mortal Kombat. Dun, and there's like a tournament for season 2 or something. But
yeah, and that was no, it's not happening. So yeah, that was kind of crazy, and Yuno and Hito meet up, and they're working for Aradia, Didn't work out too well for them because, you know, Sojiro, is that his name? Sojiro?
Soichiro?
Soichi. It's not Sojiro?
Is it Sojiro or Soichiro? I don't know. Whatever. So.
not his name is So. So what? Yeah, so it's Sojiro.
Okay.
But yeah, he was having a tough time. Homegirl got kidnapped. So yeah. And I guess they just kind of used that as the reason to start the war. They're just like, oh my god, y'all came on us and tried to antagonize us. We fought back, and now we're blowing your shit up. Let's go. Right.
Fire the nukes, self-defense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could think of some countries today that, you know, are using the Lithia response. Not gonna say them.
They
but,
rode
yeah.
past us on horseback. Get the nukes. We have to defend ourselves.
Yeah. Sounds like some countries.
Not to get political.
But yeah. So that's what's happening, and then they fired their super light laser and melted Mage City in half.
Or mages.
Always the mages. God damn it.
I like that. What's her name? So you know, it still has like this. It's crazy inferiority complex, even though she's getting kidnapped by the plant guy. He's only capturing me because I'm weak. Like she's still having her existential crisis from episode 1.
I mean, compared to all these guys, yeah, she is.
Yeah, I mean,
she is.
I like that she's still going through it. Like we got through all this exposition and all these other characters, and she's still here just sulking. Like,
I think she's mad because she's like, "Fuck!" Like I'm like we're back to episode 1 shit where some shit's happening to me and I can't stop it. I hate this. I can't really say poor her.
No. Neither can I.
Let's see. Anything else about Ishura? Oh, the old man, he's so funny. Because he's just so hellbent of just... Like, he's such a boomer. He's the definition of the... Like, he's the boomer of this series. He's literally just like, no, let's go and fight the wyverns, and I'll take my men's troops, and we'll fight. And meanwhile, the dude's like, no, you dumb fuck. We have to fortify this city.
Yeah.
I'm like, not gonna allow you to just get killed with your really crappy spell magic, word magic, or whatever.
Listen, boomer. This is my city, and I'm gonna protect it.
Right. He was like, no, if I must fight wyverns because I'm a wyvern fighter.
It's my job. It's all I do. It's fight wyverns. It's my title.
Literally that. It was fun. Oh yeah, and then Nihilo, her power is just I control spider mechs.
I get naked and get into spider. It was very Ghost in the Shell.
It was. But I'm just like, also, why do we have a spider mech?
Why? You know what this whole show feels like? This show feels like a very it feels like it's straight out of the 90s. Like, you know those old 90s anime like it would show like late at night on Toonami and shit that was like really weird and over the top, like Ninja Scroll or just what's the other show that used to give all the time? Not Berserk. But just like the general sense of like 90s shows that are very violent and random and over the top.
I feel like Tenchi Muyo does not belong in there. No, I just thought Tenchi Muyo because you said you just said 90s and I was just like, oh my god, Tenchi Muyo.
Just insert 90s over the top violence. This feels a lot like Ninja Scroll actually.
I don't remember Ninja Scrolls.
It's basically this has a very 90s feel.
Ninja Scrolls the series. Oh yeah, it looks like that.
This feels like it just stepped right out of the 90s and it's like I would. Did
they also have a mech?
No, I don't remember if they had a mech. I think it was just.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they did. Yeah.
It just feels like this is an amalgamation of all the shit that was popular in the 90s, just thrown into one 90s style show. mechs, ninjas, skull people, like dark fantasy.
And now Spider Max.
Yeah, now Spider.
Well, I'm looking forward to shit hitting the fan. I know it's gonna be great. Mm-hmm. Oh god. Yeah, I bet this is a good. This is like a very solid.
I think it's a hidden gem for the season.
I would say so because it's just so like you get what you get, and the world building has been pretty like on point.
Yeah, and now I'm actually thinking: are all these characters like an homage to other popular shows and characters? Like Mech Girl really feels like Ghost in the Shell reference, and then Soujou really feels like Tension.
Who is Kia?
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know.
Like, because I know Kia looks like Yuzu from Seto Kayaku in Domo, but I don't think I don't think she was based off of her.
No, I'm trying to think of like a character that has like I can say anything, and maybe Serial Experiments Lane. Lane had that ability, but she like just she was more computer based. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up. This is a very interesting series. It's a very interesting series.
Very interesting indeed. Alright. Up next, we have Sousou no Frieren episode... what was it, 22 and 23?
Yeah. I'm so glad this is 28 episodes, because I was going to be like, oh, we're almost at the end.
I mean, we still are almost at the end.
We're still like 5.
I mean, I was saying relatively to the whole series.
As opposed to just one.
Yeah, that is true. Right, it's on my notes. I'm like, where's my notes from last week? Stark being happy that his girlfriend's not here, so he's like, I can just do whatever and drink juice at night. And that gets Fern all pouty and mad.
Yeah, episode 22 is basically the we need a fix for an episode because she's pissy and mad.
And we also get to learn like kind of like the characteristics and the personalities of all the other candidates, you know, outside of them fighting each other. Richter is such a dick, but he's pretty fun. He's like pretty funny because he's just so like, I'm a dick. Duncan, I feel like I like him more and more with each episode.
Yeah, he's a really fun character. I'm liking him a lot.
One of my friends he made a meme about him that went viral. Shout out to AJ. Wait, let me see if I can find it. It was so fucking funny. It showed like that meme. I forgot what the original meme was. It showed Duncan in a fighting stance that I'm sure you've seen before. But the caption was so funny. He said, if I send this, just know that I may be out of mana, but I'm not out of options.
I did see that one, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that was AJ. So that was funny. So and he's trying to find this restaurant, and what is it, Richter being a dick about it, but he's like, my wife and I used to go there, and now she's dead. Take us. And also I'm taking the cute the cute martial art waifu magic girl with me. So like I feel like that in my mind that's like his adopted daughter. Or at least for the duration of the arc. We learned something interesting about Uba. We learned that she can learn magic by learning the feelings of of others. Like, she's like, if I just learn about you, I can learn about your magic that way. Because, like, apparently magic kind of just comes from feeling, I guess. At least the personal magic, their special magic. So that was very interesting. I love how much world building goes into the concept of the magic. Oh, like, as a gay man who just loves magic things, like, this really is just... It makes me so happy.
Things. Yeah, I love anytime they pay attention to world building. And it's like, they do just enough where they don't over-explain the system. And it's like, oh, we have to know every little interesting detail. But they, like, do enough to make it relevant and practical. It feels like, oh, I know how magic works in this universe. Or at least I have a good idea.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Frieren eating that unnecessary amount of meat. I know that shit must have been monstrous.
Yeah, she did not leave the bathroom that night.
At all. Also, Prince Happy Walk was funny. Cute.
Yeah, that's her little hands up.
Also, shout out to Luine and her family. They're like all really attractive.
She has a really hot family.
I see. I didn't want to say it like that, but yeah,
explains a lot.
Yeah, the genetics is strong with them.
Kane is marrying into a very nice family.
That part. And then the other episode, we learned that Sensei. I'm trying not to call her Sensei, but like, I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's funny because it's German for sense, but it's spelled like the same way as sense.
It's like sensei. It's
sense,
it's not.
It's sensei.
It's sensei.
But not the Japanese sensei. It's
right, because like they don't have the I at the end.
Yeah,
so it's like sensei.
Sensei.
Like, yeah, I guess you just have to like eat. Yeah, you have to eat the vowel at the end, and not stress it like in sensei. It's like sensei.
Yeah.
Still confusing, but she starts her own. Huh?
Cute hair girl. Let's call her.
Not cute hair. I'm not calling her a cute hair girl. What the fuck? Anyway, Sensei, she's a proctor for the next test, and her test is just literally make it to the bottom of the dungeon. And I guess her ability to detect mana is good. I feel like that's the main reason why she went with Frieren. She was like, huh, I feel like you have a lot of mana. I'm gonna go with you.
She's mana pouring everywhere, all over the place. Yeah, you'd probably be the best person to follow in this one.
No, she hides her mana, but I guess she's a first class mage, so
maybe she could see that she's hiding.
She can see past it. Yeah, she's like, I can see that you're trying to conceal it. So ... Yeah, she seems very intuitive. Let's see. The whole scene with her getting stuck again in the because the mimics was pretty funny. Seeing her, we get to find out how she always escapes.
Yeah, that's more lore and world building. We found out how
exactly.
Mimics cannot deep throat in this universe.
They cannot deep throat. Well, let's just say I've learned to empathize with mimics today.
Mimics do not have that throat game.
I feel you, Mimic. I feel you. Justice for mimics. But yeah, so that was pretty funny. Shout out to Denken for being smart and reasonable, being like, hey, let's all stay together since we don't have to fight each other. We can just all make it down together. And everyone was like, no. And then he was like, well, all 5 of us, we should be fine, right? Unfortunately, there are magical replicas of that are produced everywhere, apparently made by some monster or a demon. And they get the very unlucky displeasure of fighting Frieren's copy. I'm just like, oh no, how are you guys gonna win? I would just, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to do with that. Right, break the golem.
I do like the intimidating Dark Souls-esque reveal of Frieren coming down. The fake.
Oh yes, I'm assuming you also saw that meme 1,000 times.
Yeah,
on Twitter. I was like, well, that is fair. Yeah, it is good. It does give that feel.
I will say another thing that Frieren does really well that goes under the radar, kind of, is it's very subtle fan service, because this episode reminded me a lot of that episode that we had way back when, where Frieren's like on the bed and she's like kicking up her feet, and we were like, oh, this is gonna launch like 1 billion dojins and fan arts, which it did. This episode is also gonna launch 1 billion because there was nothing but Frieren back shots during the whole mimic scenario. So
I was
not
paying attention to that.
If you're if you're not like horny brain for Frieren, you'll easily just overlook it and be like, oh, that's
cool. 100 right.
And when you're me and you're watching it, you're like, brother, I'm stuck in the mimic again. Big bro, I'm stuck in the mimic.
That is, well, yeah, I guess you have a point there.
So I look forward to the Hughes artwork for that one.
Alright, let's move on to our final anime for the night. Apothecary's Diary episodes, where is it? Episodes 18 and 19, which is definitely my episode of the week.
I'll let you have it. You get to represent it then.
Yeah, this was fucking insane. I think we do actually. I feel like I low key. This has to be talked about in order. I just have to find.
This was another
last week's episode.
We benefited from the 2 parts that we were doing.
Agreed. As soon as I can just fucking find it. Okay, here we go. So, episode 18 is very much, first of all, it starts with Mama having a nightmare of a woman trying to kill her. Who we figure out, like, we gotta figure out,
it's
we figure out that it's her mother, right? Her birth mother. Which is why she has... Now we know why she has such a connection to that brothel. Excuse me, because that's essentially where she was conceived. And then we see that she has, syphilis, which was terrible. Which is I understand why Mama was like very like I don't like this. I don't like this topic.
Yeah,
it makes you not great because her mother essentially has syphilis. Now they show that Lacan was at the house, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together for some reason. I was just like, oh, he just happens to be at the house. And he obviously didn't see her. So I'm just like, oh, he just happened to... In my mind, I'm just like, he followed Mao there. So I'm just like, oh, he wants to, like, buy Mao and, I don't know, be his... like, have her as his concubine or some shit.
Yeah, I was really slow-brained during this episode. My whole process was pretty much, he liked Mao being because she's smart and can play chess.
Right. But no, I think they did that on purpose. I think that was good. I would never in a million years been like, oh, that's her daughter. That gagged me. That gagged me. Because I'm just like, because I think that's what they were trying. They kept talking about buying a woman from the house and etc. etc. Especially because Jinchi did it for Mao. So you just assumed it was just like dick swinging contest to who can buy Mahou or own
And
Mahou.
there was a lot of misdirection too, because the whole like the other woman that's with Lacon, the tall woman with the herbal medicines and stuff. Because I always refer every time I think of the woman that he's like trying to buy out and stuff. Yeah, I keep thinking of her, so I didn't even think about Mahou's mom.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was kind of insane. That was an insane reveal. And yeah, he was just like, I was like, oh, Lacan, look, he wants his daughter back to some degree? Question mark. Like question, because I don't know. Like I just even after the next episode, watching the next episode, I still don't know anything. Yeah, even Suide like kind of warns her. No, excuse me. And it's like, just like, stay away. It's people who like have eyes on you. Don't bring too much attention. So yeah, these idle warnings, but I think, and that's the crazy part, I don't think Mahou knew that everyone was warning her about him. At least that's what I thought. But that wasn't the case, because obviously at the end of the episode, where she's like, hey, it's something Lacan, do you want to talk to him? Bitch, that face?
Yeah, that flash of the face. Like, the Mahou jump scare.
Episode of the week. Episode of the week. He said, oh, like, Jinchi flinched. She said, oh, shit. Like, he's like, I stepped on the landmine.
He immediately was like, oh, I'll make sure that he
Nope. And then she's like, thanks. Ooh, that was chilling. Oh my god, that was... Woo! Oh my god, that was good. That was good. This makes me want... This is making me want to watch, fucking... What's it called? The Gold Chrysanthemum? It's a movie with... Do you know who Yao Chun Fat is?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. The movie.
Yes, it was a random movie. It's a Chinese movie that came out, I think, in like 2023, 2024, like early 2000s. That movie was good. It was juicy and had all the drop, and it was also very like cinematically like beautiful. Lots of gold and shit everywhere. It was really good. It was definitely one of those times where I was in my daddy issues era, so I was like, oh my god, yes, child and fat. You better be dressed like a old emperor. But yeah, it reminded me a lot like this in terms of like just like, oh, the twists. This was a very twist similar to that movie. That was crazy. Also, random side note, I like that the caretaker kind of addresses the one thing that I personally have a problem with Mahou's character. Oh shit, I kind of forgot what it was. I just know that the lady addressed it. I wrote in my notes. I think it was just the fact that she's so... Right, that she's so not asking for what she wants. So, kind of like she kind of shoots herself in her foot because she's like she's trying too hard to be at her station.
To be fair, I feel like that's self-defense. Like if she fucks that up, she get like executed or something. Like, right, but like But we there's an argument that can be made where she does it a little too much. Yeah. Literally, she got fired because she just say like she didn't have to like demand. I'm not even saying there's a difference between like demanding and saying just expressing how you feel. Like homeboy was like, "Do you want to work here?" And she's just like, "I'll just do what you want." He's like, "Okay, well I have to fire you based on that answer." So yeah, and obviously Jinchi clearly has feelings for her. I'm not saying Mahou's not the kind of person to take advantage of that, but it could have just been as simple as like, hey, especially if she can twist it to make it work for her, being like, yes, let's get all these
a room for like growing plants and medicine because they'll only help you.
Mm.
It won't hurt. So yeah, that was a small tangent. Let's go to episode 19. Where what's his name? Lishu?
Mm.
That soldier or military dude keeps coming back to her. She tells him like, "Hey, someone stole some ceremonial tools. Yeah, the night of the fire." And then they're like, "Oh, who?" And this is why it's my episode of the week, because you want to talk about a great setup.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Huh? Okay, interesting. Who was supposed to be taking care of that? Oh, the warehouse manager. Yeah, what happened to him? Oh yeah, he was poisoned. Yeah, the one." And I'm just like, "Oh." And in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, that dude who was poisoned that episode randomly, who likes eating experiments." Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, what about the?" He's like, "Yeah," and then they're like, "Oh, there's an older manager who like did things the right way, but he died from a salt overdose."
Mm.
I'm like, that was also even earlier. Like,
yeah, I like that it all like links back on itself. It's like, oh shit, it's all connected.
And then it's like, oh yeah, there's some court lady who gave the guard some pipe, and I'm just like. Not gave the guard some pipe. That sounds crazy out of context. Gave the guard the pipe found at the scene. I mean, listen, if you're into not Fujoshi. I already forgot the word. But yeah, if you into Fuda, do it up.
Listen, guard, I got the pipe.
Now he was digmatized and left the station. So yeah, and then Mama's brain starts working and she's just like, oh, yeah, homegirl could have set, and it was cool because I was kind of on the same wavelength. It's like, oh, she didn't need to set all these, she set all these up just in case one thing happens, the other thing can happen, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And then, she's in the library and she learns about the one guy who was dismissed from his position because he was concerned about the weight of some ceremonial the decorations.
Yeah, tools, decorations,
etc. And then it was like, interesting. Oh, of course, I love how Jinshi was like, hey, go solve this and I'll give you an ox gallstone. And then she lost her shit.
Jumped on the table.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so then she puts the pieces together and she's like, okay, so essentially this might be an assassination attempt and someone might die. So she runs, tries to stop it, but the guard stops her. And then she's like trying to get the car to like, hey, you need to move, someone might die. And then, see, this is one of the moments where she could have kept the cue and decided not to. She was like, oh, I guess, she's like, oh, I see you're not stopping me because I guess you're in on it too. And before she even finishes that sentence, he clubs the fuck out of her.
Yeah, that was wild.
Oh my god, first of all, that like, and like,
that upset me.
That did too, cause like, girl, what the, you could just backhanded her, you could just hit her with the hand, you clubbed her in the head. In real life, that would have killed, that been killed.
Yeah.
That's instant
she
death.
fell down some stairs, it's over.
That's instant death. Like a club made out of metal hitting her upside the head like that. It's giving brain bleed. It's giving brain bleed. But no, through the power of anime, she gets up and he's like, and he's still stopping her. And then Laken of all people is like, let her go. And Mama was like, oh my god, I can't even deal with you. And she's like, I can't even turn around and look at you because I feel like I know who that is. But he's letting me through for some reason. And then she goes in and saves the old dude, but kind of gets this huge laceration in her leg. It looks pretty bad. She's kind of dripping blood.
Yeah, I like, for as much as I was upset that they like hit her and everything, the level of detail to her injury was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so used to anime where it's like a pretty girl gets beaten up and all it amounts to is just like a little scratch or something. Now she had a fucked up eye that was like swelling as the episode
Yeah.
progressed. She was like bleeding. Her leg had like a giant gash in it.
Gash, blood spilling
Yeah.
out. Oh, and then of course, at this point I predicted. I was just like, "Yo, it's gonna be Jinchi." He says, "On a noble birth." I'm like, "Oh, it's Jinchi," and it was. Which was crazy because then it's like the full circle moment.
Yeah. And Lacan was not happy about that.
Yeah. So I'm just like, did Lacan and Homegirl do plot this assassination? Is he a part of it? Because I don't know. I feel like it'd be a little too obvious for him to show up at the scene of the crime he committed. It's a little too on the nose. I think I can't tell if he's shocked because the assassination attempt didn't work or because his birth daughter is like half dead.
Might be both.
It might be both. Also, Jinchi was walking a little too slow for me.
He was like,
"Why are you not running? Like, go a brisk pace. Like, why is it? Why is this? Like, this is also feel like a ceremony. Is she dead? Like, is she dead already? Yo, can you imagine if they killed her?
I mean, how many episodes are left?
Like 4.
Oh, okay, no, too late.
4 or 5, I believe. 5, yeah, 5 episodes left. Yeah. That was crazy. That was all crazy. Like, episode 19 was just crazy. Because it's tying everything together and just... And in addition to that... Just dramatics, her getting clubbed in the face, her saving Jinchi, it being Jinchi. Mm-hmm. So that means Lacan was trying to kill Jinchi so he can get Mao Mao.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of makes sense now. Yeah. come on, me putting the pieces together during right. I was like, oh wait, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like Lacan would absolutely try to kill Jinchi to get position Mao Mao, and now he's like, oh fuck, I think I might kill my daughter because just like me, she's too damn smart. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was fucking crazy. That was a crazy episode. That was crazy.
Yeah, a lot happened, and there was a lot. Like, this show really takes its time building up, but once it like gets to the peak, it like
here we were complaining, saying, "Oh, these episodic pieces. Why randomly do this fucking case about a blade? Why are we da da da?" But I feel like Lacan also put her on. Like, why did Lacan give her pieces? Do you feel like that he also like he brought some of those cases to her?
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
It's all part of the master plan. I don't know what that plan is yet.
Right. I'm like, what is going on? Anyways, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm looking forward to next episode. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those moments where I'm just like, I haven't felt this excited about Apothecary Diaries in like a minute.
Yeah, this is giving like back to the last arc where it was like the honey girl or the honey old woman.
Yeah. Yes.
The last time was the hype for the show, so I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a climax.
Indeed. Speaking of climax, we have reached the climax of this podcast where we are done with the weekly reviews, which means we are done with this podcast. So, Oni, please take us away.
Guys, if you enjoyed this week's episode of the Waifu Wars podcast, make sure you like the button and subscribe to catch every episode as they go up. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party on our Discord, all linked in the description down below. If you can also become a channel member or patron and join us for our weekly live watches. We're going to be watching Frieren and Solo Leveling. So if that sounds interesting to you, You know what to do. Drew, do you have anything you like that?
Sorry, I was still talked out, but I don't know. Enjoy your free holiday. Take the
Yay!
time to rest.
Enjoy your holiday, everyone. And on that note, we'll see you all next time. Till then, this has been Sobroni and
Groovy do.
catch you later. Later.
Bye.